Something I collect is old editions of the Docklands Light Railway handbook. This is a brief guide to the DLR system that's been published since the 80s. Why do I keep collecting old editions of the same book? Well, hoarder tendencies aside, because each one includes a section on future plans for the system. These tell me not only how the system developed, but how it might have developed. In the 2000 edition, which as you can see cost me £7 second-hand, there's a bit talking about the Woolwich Arsenal extension. The Woolwich Arsenal branch opened in 2009, extending off the London City Airport branch. At the time, Woolwich was in need of improved transport links. The area was linked to central London by a railway line into London Bridge, while getting into the Docklands required a ferry or foot crossing and a bus ride. The rail link was overcrowded and the cross-river links were poor. Another rail link was considered to be key to regenerating the area, which had been badly affected by the closure of the actual Arsenal, the biggest employer around here. The DLR is a light rail system which makes it relatively easy to extend. It requires less engineering than an ordinary railway or underground system, due to its light weight and low speeds. And because the trains can take sharper curves and steeper gradients than conventional trains, it takes up less space. In East London, extending the DLR is kind of the go-to solution to improving rail connections. In 2000, there were a number of reasons to make those improvements. As well as serving Woolwich, London City Airport needed a link, and there were plans to develop the area north of the river. It was decided to build the DLR connection in a tunnel. A bridge could interfere with shipping, and an above-ground line through Woolwich would necessitate a lot of demolition. At present, the line goes from King George V station in North Woolwich, under the river, and then it doesn't stop until it reaches Woolwich Arsenal, the terminus. But according to the map in this book, there could have been another station. This station would have been called Woolwich Reach. This should not be confused with the Woolwich Reach development on the other side of the river, by the way. I haven't found any other records of this station proposal. Documents from the 2000s available online simply mention Woolwich Arsenal as the sole stop beyond King George V. So what was this? Some purely speculative scheme, perhaps, from the earliest stages of planning that went no further? Well, out of curiosity, while filming in Woolwich, I decided to visit the proposed site of the proposed station to see what I could see. On top of the tunnel into Woolwich Arsenal is this building here. It's a ventilation shaft. A rather distinctive one, too. So here is my hypothesis. Obviously there was going to have to be a ventilation shaft. Perhaps, in the planning stages, they thought it would be a good place for a station if they were going to have to build something here anyway. Or perhaps they thought that in future it could be converted. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you may be aware of the Piccadilly Line ventilation shaft in Haringey that transport historians reckon would have been the site of the proposed St Anne's Road station. Well, I think something similar happened here. Why was it dropped? Well, there were doubts about the viability of this branch. I've mentioned in a previous video the fact that planners were sceptical that London City Airport would provide enough traffic to justify that extension. Perhaps it was simply felt that there wouldn't be enough passengers for two stations. Additionally, a lot of the development in this area is light industry and commercial premises. And, of course, there's just the river to the north. Woolwich Arsenal is not very far away, so if there was a station built here, the catchment area, as it were, for both stations would probably overlap. Actually, after the Woolwich Arsenal branch was built, the station quickly became overcrowded. The DLR provided the quickest link into the city, but it is still a light rail system with a limited capacity. As a result of the need for more capacity, a station was added to the Elizabeth line just a short distance from Woolwich Arsenal. So perhaps the station would have been justified in terms of passenger numbers after all. But at present there's no calls for it and no proposals to open it. So it's just a footnote in history, if even that. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, please do leave a like and consider subscribing for more. I would like to thank my donors on Ko-fi, on Patreon and here on YouTube for your support. You are the ventilation shaft to my station. And I'll see you all again very soon. Cheerio.